Morning, guys. It is Monday morning and I am heading off to the Home Depot for an early start today because I ran out of as you saw the video yesterday, ran out of the thin wire soldering, so I wanted to get to Home Depot early and just go and pick up some that good old Cody told me that would actually work, and I saw it. It's a little bit cheaper. It's still the thin wire soldering. It's lead free. It's actually electrical soldering. Cody did say it will work. Hopefully it will. If it doesn't, hopefully I can return it. But I really don't see, coming to think about all this, I really don't see the big difference between all the soldering. I mean, it's kind of like the same stuff. You know, I did find out, obviously, you cannot solder aluminum. It does not stick to aluminum. So, anyway, yeah, early morning, and that's what I'm doing. Waiting for traffic here. Early morning traffic, always got to have that. Monday. So, yeah, we'll see how this turns out. We'll see how this turns out. Well, here we are. Nice thing about the Home Depot is it's like 10 minutes away from my house, so able to just run down here real quick, and it's not going fully into town. So yeah, go check this out. Okay, so I got the stuff. Hopefully it'll work. I don't know. It was really great because Cody had just called, returning one of my phone calls from yesterday while I was there, and I just reconfirmed a little bit with him that will this work. The only bad thing is that brand is what I was having issues with yesterday, but I think that's because it was thicker wire. You know, and Cody, I kind of reconfirmed with Cody again, being he's a plumber, that, you know, low heat and just, you know, not to overheat everything. So I'm just hoping that that is really the problem. The fact that this is thin wire, it'll heat up quicker, and I won't have to heat up, because I think that, you know, with the surface of the metal, everything getting way too hot, it running all over the place, I'm hoping that's going to be the issue. I don't know, we'll see. This stuff is a lot cheaper than what I was usually buying, so I'm gonna get out of here because this place is very busy in the morning. Well, it is just as I thought. That thinner soldering does work. That's the stuff you want to use. It's thinner, so it melts at a much lower temperature. And that side is this. That's what we're looking for, right there. Is to basically be able to drag the wire right along the edge, and the flux will suck it right underneath. And there you go, nice and clean. Not too much excessive buildup of the soldering. And this is with the thicker copper stall. That's the thicker pipe. So yeah, I'm glad it worked. That rested my mind, because yesterday was kind of driving me a little crazy, because I was like, why is this not working? Really was not the brand. I kind of really was kind of blaming the brand, because that was something that I bought that was different than what I've already used. So really what it boils down to is the thickness of the wire. For this, what I'm doing here, the thinner wire is exactly what you need. And what I'm using is that electrical soldering, which looking back now, I wish I would have known that, because it was a lot of money to get that little bit of plumbing soldering. There was a thinner wire that was like $8. I've gone through a couple of those already, so now I got a whole roll that was a lot less. Making some tea, iced tea, these tea bags. Cut all these little. That's the nice thing about one of the other ones. I think the one I bought from Walmart actually doesn't have these on here. You know, when I first got this tea, I thought maybe that was what kept me up that night, because I drank some of it and actually wound up couldn't sleep. but it wasn't, because I've been drinking this for a while there. I stayed away from, whoops, I stayed away from using this at night. Alright, so I got a little bit of water in there, and just throw those in. And just let, basically I brew a really strong batch and then pour it in the pitcher with ice. And I add a little bit of lemon juice to that, because I like lemon in there. Well, perhaps a lot of lemon. And just let this go. See, it's already getting darker. Almost. Could throw a set of grips in there. Exercise. With thoughts of annealing and what I've learned with the copper, these are some knives that I bought from Walmart early on in this project. I bought a set of 4. They're like $2. You can see it just pretty much pulled right out of the handle. In fact, if you guys remember my Halloween video, this is actually that knife from the video. With all this talk about annealing, and you know, of course, me just cutting my blades out of welding steel, basically sheet metal in a sense, which is not the most durable stuff. I actually thought about just now, what if I annealed this? The same, I mean, from what I've researched and everything, and then common sense would mean that you can pretty much, that's the way they do it. You heat it up. So I'm actually going to go ahead and heat this thing up and see what happens. Hold it, figure out how to do this safely. Actually, see, it's turning cherry red, and from what I've read online, that's what you want. I'm gonna roll in a clip real quick right now. It basically, now I may have to ask Cody, or may have to find out myself why this didn't work. But in the very first Nightmare movie, the blade on the index finger actually snapped off, and they resoldered it. My NECA glove that I bought is actually a really good replica of it, because they actually replicated that. I tried to do that myself by taking one of the blades I made and then snapping it, cutting it in half, and then actually resoldering it. It did not work, and for some reason the soldering did not hold. I'm not sure why, but it could be because but see, the thing is, soldering sticks to this because I'm obviously making my blades out of it, or attaching them to the fingers. So I'm trying to figure out exactly why this didn't work. Let me roll in the clip real quick right here. It was a complete failure, but here it is. Alright, well, I think I did it. I don't know how well it'll hold, but yeah, I think I did. It took some heat to do that. Oh, no. Okay, so I'm not sure what the deal is here. Maybe, I don't know. I'm gonna run this by Cody and see what he says. If I can ever get that guy back over here. So, all right. This has been really nice to have because it's inexpensive, or I shouldn't say it's not cheap, but it's not quite as expensive as the other stuff I've been using. Let's see if I still have one of the containers in here. You don't get very much of it. This is the other one. It wasn't a lot of that stuff that I was buying for $8. It really was a very short amount. So yeah, it's nice to be able to have quite a few of this, or quite a bit of this. So that's working right now. It is the same brand as this stuff, which this is way too thick to work with to do what I'm doing. It's just too thick. It requires way too much heat. So waiting for this to cool down, and we'll see how this turns out. So this does not work. It didn't do a thing to this at all. I still can't cut it or get in or alter it. It still seems to be the same, and I did get it red hot. So I guess yeah, right now, yeah, it's not gonna work out. I mean, I could take it to my friend's grinder and actually shape it, and I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. But it's just an idea. I thought about this. Might as well use them or do something with them. But for now, currently, because I'm using the sheet metal, they do sell actually vegetable knives that are rather cheap online. I may have to go and see if I can locate them locally in town, maybe perhaps. But they have a perfect curve, exactly like very similar to what they used in the original movie. Now, in the original movie, I do believe they used knives by the company Case, and those were called tomato knives or something. I think they call them the P210s, and it's actually like the most perfect, like, claw looking knife, and that's what I heard they used. So, and they're really thin. So you can actually still find those, but they're like $30 a piece. That's just kind of really ridiculous considering what you're going to do with it. But yeah, that does not work. But I did see that they do sell vegetable knives. I think they're like $5 a piece, made by like Good Cook or something. But yeah, it's just some things I've been thinking about regarding this, which did not work. This does not anneal. So the power actually just went out, and I'm using a flashlight to light the room. It's gone out and hasn't turned back on yet. So actually don't even know if probably not going to be able to get this video uploaded, so you're probably seeing this very late from the usual time that they go up. So yeah, sitting here, no power. At least it's not terribly hot as it could be, but anyway, yeah, the annealing did not work on that knife blade. That's okay. It's all just still figuring things out and working things out. Yeah, I'm thinking if I can make this glove out of the finger pieces, you know, it would be nice to have one pretty heavy duty one that works good, because I must say the articulation in the fingers by using the heavier copper is definitely a lot better, because it works good. So I think it's because it holds its form better. All right, so anyway, yeah, power's out. What to do? Can't get back on the internet. I was actually in the middle watching Salem's Lot, and I watched part of it last night, and then I was finishing up. I actually just turned it on, and the power goes out. Who would have thought? There's still no power. Still in blackout. I got the flashlight. At least I got the flashlight to act as a lamp, so it's not too bad. I got my book, so yeah. Anyway, like I said, I remember actually this other YouTuber I follow. They live in South Carolina. When Hurricane Matthew hit, they actually had no power for 3 days. I want to say 3 days, and man, you really, I felt bad for them. So you can imagine. The worst part of all this is I actually wound up taking a nap earlier. I think I took like an hour or two nap, so I'm like pretty much awake, and yeah, nothing to do. Read, I guess.